So,
Nieto, and what's your name?
Jessie Rodriguez.
Jesse, get closer to that microphone. I know you. What do you got? A cold or something?
No.
No, you just don't want to spit on the microphone. There you go. How's that feel? Doodly doo doo doo. This is called live radio, and there it is. Jesse, I want to thank. So let's talk. Where are you from, Mike?
I'm from Griffith.
From Griffith, Indiana.
Yeah.
You grew up there?
No, I'm originally from Whiting, but I stay in Griffith.
All right. So you're in Griffith now, but you grew up in Whiting.
Yes.
What part of Whiting?
Right there on 121st Street
Right on 121st Street.
in New York.
You gonna move back to Whiting one day? You think?
No,
Why not?
don't want to.
You don't want to? You like it in Griffith?
No, I'm gonna eventually move back to Texas.
Really? Is that where you're originally from?
No, I was out. My family's from there. From
From
so-
Tejas?
Yeah, from Brownsville.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah.
want to go back? It's a little warmer there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice though.
You know, when you're thinking about it at January 14th and it's like 7 below 0, and then you talk to your family in Brownsville and maybe they Skype with you and they're in a T-shirt standing next to,
It was so nice.
isn't that nice? So Mike Nieto and Jesse, where are you from?
I'm from Hammond, Indiana. I actually live not far from here.
You really not far from here?
Yeah.
So if we ever go off the air, which happens all the time, and I called you up and I said, hey, can you just zip over there and kick us back on the air? You'd be close enough to do that?
Yeah. I
Really?
didn't even have to drive here today. I could have walked.
You could have walked, huh?
I just didn't.
Good. Let's turn this microphone up a little bit. There you go. All right, guys. So Mike Nieto and Jesse Rodriguez. So what kind of work you guys do?
IRM, Industrial Resource Management. We work for a guy named Trampus. I do construction for him. He said, no, you could talk for yourself.
You do construction, and
I do various things: mechanical work, safety or industrial cleaning, all kinds of different things. Trampus owns about 8 different companies or partners with, so I'm kept busy all the time.
All right, Trampus.
Trampus Martin. Yep.
Trampus Martin. Okay, I thought it was so Trampus Martin has a game. And what's the name of the company again?
IRM.
IRM. Let's just go with that. So you're driving along to Borman, right?
Yep.
What time in the morning?
This was afternoon, around 3:40.
Around 3:40 in the afternoon. You guys are going what direction into Borman?
We are going eastbound.
Eastbound on to Borman. And then what happens?
Well, we see a car on the right-hand side in the ditch. We pull up alongside it, and we realize there was a person in the vehicle. And so we immediately stop, get out the vehicle, and seen the guy was going into seizures, and seen that the water, or the car was, the driver's side door was under the water. Kind of just, it was a weird angle.
It's wet over there. It's. I know. I've been inside of the Borman covering crashes before. It's always wet in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
It's always wet. I don't know what happens over there. Maybe it's for whatever reason, but it's wet. So he's slightly submerged into the side, into the ditch, right?
Yes.
He was sinking.
He was sinking.
Yeah.
He was sinking and having a seizure.
Yeah.
Yes. A violent seizure.
And how old's the guy about?
I'd say 60s.
He's in his 60s.
Would be my fair guess.
All right, so let's just give him 60 years old or so.
His name's Jerry.
Jerry, have you met him yet? Have you met him since? No, I
No.
just know his name. Jerry.
I've tried. I just can't contact or find any information about him. I know he's okay. That's all I know.
Okay, so Jerry's having a seizure, and his car is a car or a truck?
It's a car.
It's a car, and his car is sinking. So why in the Sam Hill do you guys stop?
It's just something
This is how we are.
that's in me. I'm not the type of person that can drive past somebody that needs help.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that if that was me, I'd want to be helped if I was in that boat. So I just do it knowing that it can make a difference.
We just had somebody join us, my wife, Alexis Vasquez.
Hi, how are you?
Are you guys a little bit surprised that I got such a hot wife? Or is that what you were going to say? Is that what you said? Okay.
Oh, man.
All right.
People surprise me every day.
Okay, people surprise you every day. All right, so what happens? You get it? How do you stop the car?
Yeah,
Stop.
we pulled over, and as we pulled over, everybody started stopping now. But before, people were just driving by with their phones out and not paying attention to the guy. And when we pulled over, he jumped out, and I step in the mud, and I get stuck. Yeah.
Oh, it's that quicksand-like?
It's like it like sucks your foot in. So he jumps into action and just runs around the bank and goes up on the other side and then gets in the car. He tries it.
Tries to open the door?
I ran around because I seen he was having some really bad seizures, and his chest went in and he went limp. So that kind of worried me for a minute there. So I ran around the embankment. I was winded, but I got in the vehicle. I turned the car off because it was still in drive. The speedometer was stuck around 80. I noticed that as well. And the passenger side of the vehicle was starting to smoke from water and his foot being on the accelerator the whole time. So when I get in the vehicle, he's not really doing much. He's really incoherent. I'm asking him, "Are you injured? What month is it?" Trying to judge where his awareness is, because he started coming to, but he was in another world at the same time. And I turned the vehicle off. He was kind of mangled a little bit from the impact, I'm assuming. And so I lift him a little bit to take the seatbelt off him. And I put his arm around my shoulder, grabbed him by the neck and the back, try to keep his spine straight as much as I can. I seen he had hit his head, so I used my feet, shoulders, whatever I could to pull him to the passenger side safely without trying to expose him too much to shaking him around. While I was taking the seatbelt off, he was trying to go out the driver's door.
But you couldn't do it because it was submerged, right?
No, I don't think he could have done it. But if he could have, for some reason, he would have drowned. He was not there, alert. He wasn't alert of the surroundings. So if some reason that door would have opened, he'd have went in there and probably just tumbled around, not knowing what's going on, and drowned. So I thought I had to get this guy away from there. I didn't want to get him out the vehicle. I was kind of going back and forth on that, but he was so non-responsive to what's going on around him. If I would have got him on that hill, it was an embankment, he probably would have rolled right in the water. That had been another issue. So I got him to the passenger side of the vehicle. I had him sitting with his feet outside the car. I had his head on the headrest, and I still kept his arm around my shoulder. So if the vehicle tilted even more, because it was kind of rocking on a log there and starting to kind of slowly slide in there.
And we're talking to Jessie Rodriguez and Mike Nieto. They've you guys have seen them on Chicago TV and so forth, driving along to Borman, and they see a guy that's evidently had some sort of seizure or heart attack or something, and he's in the ditch along the Borman, which is an incredibly scary proposition. I covered the death of a truck driver one time and had to walk across and interview the police in very much a similar area. Now, where on the Borman exactly was this one?
This was a mile.
From Ripley.
Yes, it was a mile from the toll road exit on Ripley.
So it's between Ripley and the toll road,
Yes.
basically, on the right side there. Very swampy area. You're out near Lake Michigan and so forth. So you get the guy in the passenger side, and how did you know to stabilize his spine? I mean, is that something you watched on TV or
no.
you just knew somebody showed you that at one point or what?
I went through many different trainings for. I was a lifeguard in high school, so
Okay.
I had training for that. I trained at Code Red here in Hammond for safety rescue training. I got my OSHA 10, OSHA 30, so I've been in the industrial field for a while now. So they're big on safety. They train you to know what to do, know what not to do, and also with the rescue training and all that, I just combined everything, and I had to assess what I should and what I shouldn't do.
You know what? I'm glad that you said that because, I've been through safety training as a laborer. I was in Labor 41, and every dude in there is like, why am I in safety training? I've worked here for years. I know what I'm doing. I grew up in construction. And it turns out that your safety training may have helped you save this guy's life, which is the idea behind all the safety training.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get to a point where a guy needs his life saved on the construction site, but when you are, you got to have just these very minor things.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there in the front seat with the guy in the passenger side. He's kind of hanging out. Then he's incoherent or isn't really responding. Is he breathing?
Yeah, he's breathing. Towards the end, he started getting a little more responsive. He still didn't really know what was going on, but I started to be able to kind of hold little baby conversations with him. The whole time I was talking to him, trying to keep his attention on me, keep him talking to me, because kept going in and out on me, talking and looking like he was going to go to sleep. So I kept him with me, talking to me till the paramedics and state police arrived. Also, I was trying to figure out if this guy was married. Did he have any kids? Is there somebody I can call for him or get on the phone with him to try to bring him to? I didn't really get that far in it. I found his phone, but he didn't have many numbers in there, nothing really saved. So
you knew how to get into his phone and kind of look at it. And so how long was it before the paramedics arrived?
about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes. So you're just sitting there, and the guy's breathing at least, and he's not submerged. He hasn't fallen into the water, which is kind of deep in that area.
Yeah.
So you're just waiting. I mean, and so what are you doing at that time, Mike?
I called 911.
Oh, you called 911?
Right when we pulled up.
Were you able to get your foot out of the muck after a while? And you were waiting on the roadside with them. So Mike Nieto and Jessie Rodriguez are sitting out at the site here. So what happens when the paramedics arrive? How do they even get over there?
Well, they had to walk around the embankment like I did. And when they showed up, they asked what happened here. I told them I was first responder. He went into a seizure. He hit his head. He's not really responsive. And I told him all them things that they should know and they need to know. And I waited for them to package him. And as soon as he was in their hands, we just went on with our work day.
So you guys just left the scene?
Yeah.
All right, and then who contacted you guys about being the Good Samaritans? One of the news organizations, right?
Yes.
Which one?
It was Chicago Sun-Times.
Chicago Sun-Times, and they did an article on you, right?
Yes.
What'd you tell them?
Actually, I didn't really do nothing. My dad, he actually sent it to the news. He lives in Chicago, and he got tired of hearing all the bad news around there, people dying, people being corrupt, and he just figured it would be great to have some good news out there instead of all these young people or any people, deaths, violence. He just wanted to see something different for a change, and he knows that my heart is in a good spot, and that there's been many times where we have been able to help people in need, and he just wants it to be out there for people to see.
Well, I'll tell you what do you think about this, Alexis?
Well, I want to commend them for their bravery, and I was really quite impressed, and I was thinking to myself, okay, so how does this guy know how to do all of this? You know, because someone like me would have been trying to help, but probably been more hysterical than not. And I appreciate that your father took it into his hands to bring something positive to the eyes of the media, because even long ago when Jim and I bought this radio station, I was interviewed by the Chicago media who said, well, why are you buying this radio station? And I said, because whenever we hear news, it's always Chicago news. Not only is it Chicago news, it's all 90% of the time it's bad news.
Yeah.
It's all the violence and all the corruption and everything. And I think, we'd like to take these airwaves to take the time to promote the community and promote the positive, and having the two of you here is part of what that is, promoting something positive, and thanking you guys for doing such a great job and for being there for that gentleman.
No, I'll tell you what, we don't have a plaque or anything for you guys, but I think that we're getting a new load of WJOB hoodies. Would you like one when it comes in? What size are you?
Extra large.
Extra large, and what size are you?
I'm large because
Large.
I shrink, so.
Okay, good. So we got a large and an extra large hoodie coming for Mike Nieto and Jessie Rodriguez. Mike originally out of Whiting, and Jessie out of Hammond here, not too far from the studio. We're just proud. I'm glad to see what you guys did. I mean, not everybody stops, and then then it's kind of cars are going by, not at 50, not at 60, not at 70. They're
like
zipping
10,
by.
20 miles an hour, man. And it's just like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, really?
Oh, they're slowing down to
And
take
just
video?
Like this.
Oh, that's even worse, because to their left, a bunch of people the trucks are going real fast. So
Yeah.
crazy time. It was a pretty stressful time. So you guys stopped, did your duty, and then went on to work. And then ultimately, your dad had enough foresight to let people know of the good work that you guys are doing. So when the hoodies come in, you guys are in. That's what we'd like to do our part on that. I think Walt wants to talk to you. Let's go to Walt on line one. Walt, what do you want to say to these guys?
Well, I spotted that Chicago Sun-Times the story, and given all the negative examples out of Chicago and Lake County in terms of bad citizenship, my thinking was almost exactly as Jesse's dad, namely, we need to have some positive stories about good citizenship, and you guys certainly exhibited that, and it took guts just to pull your car over to the side. I mean, that can be dangerous, having some Yahoo pile into you from the backside. But I'm assuming you're neither of you are in your 60s.
No.
No.
Oh, they're young
Halfway
guys,
there.
dude.
You're young guys. Okay.
Hey, put it this way, Walt. If it was you in the side of the Borman, you want these two strapping young men to show up because they got some strength and they're young dudes and they're right in the wheelhouse. Hey, Walt, we do talk a lot about all the bad stuff going on, and a lot of times this doesn't get highlighted. What do you want to say to these two kids?
Well, congratulations. I hope somebody would have the sense to put together some dinero and give these two young gentlemen a plaque they can one day show their grandkids, kind of thing. But I was going to suggest also that I passed on this information to Ron Harlow, which is he's the afternoon guy, and I mentioned to him these are two guys you really ought to interview. Perhaps Jessie and Mike would be willing to do a telephone interview. I mean, that afternoon group there's some overlap. But you have a somewhat different audience in the afternoon compared to the morning. So perhaps Mr. Dietlow, you could set something up so these gentlemen could do an afternoon interview with Harlow.
You got it, man. Good idea. I'm going to try to do that right now. Ron Harlow's going to contact you, too. You might have to go through some of the same stuff, and we would appreciate if one of you guys called in. Let's take Jake Jacobs. Jake, good to hear from you, buddy.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
All right, what's happening?
I just wanted to call up and say what a great thing they were doing, and I own a trophy shop in Hammond, and I'd like to donate the plaques.
Oh.
Isn't that wonderful?
So
Thank you,
how
Jake
about you and
Jacobs.
Ryan get together, and we'll get you guys a little plaque along with the WJOB sweatshirt. How's that sound?
You
Hey, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I actually got an answer to what the news reporter asked me. Every reporter asked me, what does being a hero feel like? I don't really can answer what a hero feels like, but what I enjoy out of it is a sense of pride and the great feeling about it. There's no heroism that I feel. Only thing I feel different from here on out is a sense of pride and happiness. Even on my bad days through the week, just thinking back on it, I just glow on it, and I don't do it for recognition or money or anything. It just makes me feel better at the end of the day. Thinking about it, I've watched that article maybe a dozen times already with a smile on my face, happy that I can do that, and it's such a great feeling. And I like people out there to see that as well instead of negativity.
All right, so, hey, Jake, we'll get together with you and get these guys a plaque just for something that you can have. Also, Jake, they're open to getting your newspaper at any time. One of these guys is a Hammond guy.
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll make sure we get that done.
Yeah, Jake has a newspaper here in Hammond, and he will be contacting you.
Good.
So make sure before you guys go that Ryan Walsh has your cell phone numbers that he can pass them along to Jake. Jake, thanks a lot for that. All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks a lot. It's Jesse Hernandez and Mike Nieto. I'm so happy to have you. I'm sorry, Jesse Rodriguez and Mike Nieto. I'm so glad you guys came in. If you guys want to watch this on Facebook, go to my Facebook, Jim Dietlow. Anything else you want to tell people, guys? Local heroes.
I just wish more people would pull over. I just deep down think hopefully someone do the same thing for me one day.
More consideration out there. They just need to. It's not. It's sad. It's sad to see that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not stop? Why just take pictures? Why put your phone on? It takes you enough time to pull your phone on. You can just pull over.
You know, in all fairness, you know, you guys are two young dudes, and no one's gonna mess with you, right? I mean, if you pull over and, you know, whatever, somebody is doing something that is like to ensnare you in some sort of trap or something. You guys are going to be able to
Yeah, no,
handle
no.
yourself. There's going to be a lot of people that might be older, maybe women driving by themselves, maybe young kids and so forth. They don't need to be stopping.
No, no,
You're
sure.
right on that.
Yes.
But guys, 2, 3 guys driving along and somebody's in distress, there's no reason to keep driving by in any situation. And I agree with you. You know who you are, who should be stopping.
Yes.
And you guys did what you should do. And all I can say is congratulations and thank you very much, all right?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'll be right